Well then, this is quite violent. This is super
Very,
violent.
very violent.
The video is even worse. The picture doesn't do it justice, bro.
Like,
I
look at him.
agree.
It's like stabbing. He's about to stab him.
But did you see him
Right.
afterwards? Like he had to cut his hair. He had to get like stitches. He said his artery opened up. He lost a lot of blood. It's wild, bro.
You know this from
Where he's stabbing him is an artery right there. So yeah, it's gonna gush. But
Right.
yeah, I'm sorry, man. Hannibal's history is what does Brian Danielson say? Fickle. So I wouldn't be surprised if he just did this just to have people just click on it. That's clickbait. I wouldn't be surprised.
guys. You know what
He's
this
crazy.
reminds me of?
Who said that?
Oh, Brian
Yeah,
Danielson.
I
He said
heard that
fickle.
somebody said that he does shit like that for like likes and shit and like click
Yeah,
like
man,
numbers. Like he does shit like that for numbers.
this man again, like the Teddy
It's
Hart
wild.
controversy comes to mind. Apparently, he was beefing with Teddy Hart at some point, and there was like an angle for one of his wrestling shows. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is just clickbait to get people interested again, and you know,
But you
get
know,
people interested in this.
you
What's up?
remember when New Jack fought that kid that looked like a mailman, and then he ended up
What?
beating the living god shit out of him.
That's exactly what this reminded me of too. Like New Jack
Yeah.
stabbing that.
Look, that poor fat kid, though. That poor fat kid, bro.
R.I.P. New Jack. R.I.P. New Jack.
But
Shit
we
is
here.
wild. What
Man,
up?
Don't judge me. Don't judge
Who's
me.
judging you?
He is.
I'm
He's
not even.
Judging you about
Hey,
what?
I'm paying attention to the photo of Hannibal stabbing the referee right now. I'm still like, this dude is wild. Like he's out of control, man.
we
Yeah,
are,
that is wild.
but we here
That's
though.
wild,
That's a
We
fact.
it's been a while.
man.
Yeah, it has been.
Yo, we thank everyone for being patient with us. We'll talk about a little hiatus tomorrow or today, whatever time we end up dropping this. But we're welcome to the Raw Zone. And this is I'll name this podcast later Wrestling Talk. And I'm very honest because we got, one of New York's finest in the motherfucking building. He be saving people every day in the hospitals. You know, the ER nurses don't get enough recognition as it is.
Wow.
So give it up for Himsley. Clap, clap.
Hey,
Yo,
Woo.
Himsley, what's good?
Napoleon, thank you for having me on your program. Check you guys out. You guys are dope, and glad to be here finally, right?
Yeah, finally.
So
We made this shit happen. We made it happen.
He
finally, yes, let's do it.
he
I'm
felt so
excited.
that he wanted to do it in person.
Well, next
Yeah,
time
I really.
when we start getting back in person, you definitely always welcome to. Cause we haven't done it in person yet. We haven't done this podcast in person.
Oh
Yeah,
well,
So
okay.
we made this podcast while you were still,
yeah, we still yeah. If I had my car, if I still had my car, we probably would have done it live. But
20.
nah, we haven't done this podcast in studio yet.
Okay. All right.
But
Well,
then again, I never thought of this podcast being done in studio. I don't know. That's wild. I never thought about this podcast being done in studio. I've always liked the vibe of the podcast how it is.
We always like we used to since Warzone used to be so good, we were all together.
Right, right.
But since there's gonna be reformatting with that too, um,
Everybody's reformatted.
it's fun though. There,
Yeah.
there's
Shout
a,
out to 2022.
there's a season
Shout out to 2022.
Michael Bostic can be like super platinum in R&B and all of that. But
Yeah.
let's introduce ourselves. Who are you, other gentlemen? That's not Himsley.
Oh, that's not Hemsley.
That's not Himsley. Yeah. Who next?
Nah, this is the Muffin Man.
Yo, Muffin Man.
Yo,
Bro, S Rock calls him Muffin, dude.
that's wild. All right. That's dope.
Muffin dude.
All right.
Right. Yeah, I know who it is. Hill Classic. You know what I'm saying?
All right, quickly before we get into the wrestling, weekend vibes, weekend vibes. We haven't done this shit in a while.
Oh yeah, I know what my weekend be like, yo. It's work and fucking home. Like I don't do nothing on the weekend. I don't. I play video games all weekend. That's all I
That's
do
the
all
life.
weekend. I've been playing
That's the life.
Avengers. I got into Avengers now. So
Oh, you actually
Okay.
downloaded it?
yeah. So I got it the day it came out last year, and played it for maybe like 2 or 3 days, and then I just jumped into something else. Like I was just like, whatever. I had bought that and fucking Dragon Ball Z Kakarot on the same fucking day. I spent mad bread that day on games. Yo. I don't know what the fuck I was going through.
I
Do you
remember.
How was
spend
that
a
game?
hundred and twenty something dollars on games, bro? Never, bro. I'm waiting for shit on sale. I'm waiting for shit to be on sale. That yo, I don't know what I was on. I must have had a free check that week. Must have had a free check. Spend that kind of. What the fuck was I on, bro? And then to not play either one of them. That's what was crazy. I didn't play neither one of them. I still
I was
haven't
about
really
to.
played Dragon Ball Z Kakarot like that.
I was about to ask you like, how's that game? Because I heard that game is good. I heard that game
It's
is fire.
fun. It's fun. It's just for an RPG, it doesn't give me the RPG feel that I need. So I lose interest mad quick. Like mad quick. I be playing and I'm
Mm,
like, yo, this is dope. And then no, that's not even true. Reason why I stopped playing the last time because I was getting my ass beat. I was playing who's
mm.
I think I was up to Vegeta. I think I'm up to like Vegeta. And that nigga was whooping my ass, bro, like bad. I'm just like, yo, I must be under level for him to be beating me like that. So then I kind of just lost interest again. I was just like, I don't have the time to fucking level
You
up.
gave up after Vegeta mollywhopped you in the game?
Yeah,
Oh
no, I didn't.
man.
I don't because I know how the story goes. So it's just like, all
Okay.
right, if I want to see the story, I'll fucking watch it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay. I got you.
if I can't beat him at this level, why am I playing? Like, I don't have the time to level up.
I won't front. I kind of want to try out the new Dragon Ball Z game that came out.
What, Xenoverse 2?
No,
No, Xenoverse 2 is old.
Oh.
yeah. Now there's one
No
where
wonder they sold it to me for $9 on PlayStation.
there's one that's like you're like a really weak character, like some random character, and then like they like
Oh, I know what you're talking about, bro.
one of the
I seen that.
is like Cell or Frieza, and they chase you around.
Right. Yo, you're right. I do want to play that. But yeah, yo, that's what my weekend was. Like I hate to hold it up, but that's how my week. That's my weekend is video games all weekend.
I,
A
but I,
little Fortnite, a little Avengers. Oh, and of course, since we're on a wrestling podcast, I've been watching um SmackDown and Raw from 2001. So I'm basically right now doing the
Mm,
invasion angle. That's really where I started because that's low key my favorite time in wrestling. So I was like, yo, I'm gonna watch like Raw and SmackDown back to back to back to back until that's over, and then I may continue like 2002 and just keep going. I might just keep going like that. Um, but I've been watching 2001, and the Stone Cold's heel progression in that storyline is fucking amazing. I just got to shout that out. That heel from where he was when he first aligned with Triple H to where we are now, we're like 2 weeks away from like invasion. It's yo, he that and that's only a 2 month time span, 2 3 month time span. Yo, from where he was as a heel in the beginning to where he is now, two totally different characters. And his character changes like every week. Like
but
he like falls like more into like the cowardly heel like every week, but still will go out and whip ass. It's so dope. It's so dope. Like I be in awe of like when I'm like, yo, this dude is a genius, bro. A fucking
but here's the
genius.
thing though. But here's the thing though, right? It's funny you said how much you enjoyed it because you're watching it now in retrospect. But
Right.
at the time, people were still like, Stone Cold is working with Vince McMahon.
Right. Right. You
Like,
couldn't appreciate it.
and it's like, time out. And on top of that, it's like, oh, all right, Rock is going and he's leaving for Hollywood. He's got to do the
Right.
Scorpion King, right? He's filming the Scorpion King. He's not going to be around for the next couple of months, probably not
Right.
until the summer, right?
Right.
Stone Cold is your top heel.
Uh huh.
Naturally, like, and the next night on Raw, we kind of forget WrestleMania 17, right? Biggest
Uh huh.
WrestleMania of all time, the most universally praised WrestleMania of all time, biggest main event of all time, best card of all time, hands down. People have voted on it time and time again, right?
Right.
The next night on Raw, after the heel turn, after the quote unquote betrayal, Rock and Stone Cold had a steel cage match on that Raw
Right. Right.
for the title.
Right.
And Stone Cold obviously won. And then here comes Triple H with his music. You're like, okay, now we finally got
Mm-hmm.
somebody we can rally behind and go, all right, he's going to step to him. Mind you, the month prior, they had a 3 stages of hell match at No Way Out. And Triple H won that match. People forget that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then the two-man power trip forms that night because they just destroy the Rock. And it's like, all right,
Destroyed it.
who's gonna be the guy to step up and stop this dude? It was supposed to be Undertaker and Kane, but people realized like it's Stone Cold. Like we can't be cheering against
Right.
Stone Cold. He's Stone
Right.
Cold.
Right. Right.
So ultimately, the biggest, baddest, anti-hero, however you want to call him, anti-authority figure, it kind of it put WWE in a really bad spot because they
Yeah.
couldn't really find that guy not named The Rock to face Stone Cold.
To face Stone Cold, right? There was
You
nobody of
know,
that
so
caliber at that
right,
time that was like on Stone
right,
Cold's caliber. Triple
nah,
H
man,
was, but Triple H was gone. He was hurt. So like in that time span, he had nothing. He had tore his quad, so it was over with. Like he's really holding the company
right,
down. And they tried to do
right,
it with Chris
right,
Jericho at that time. They
and
tried to do it
and
with
Kurt Angle, and Kurt
Benoit. They
Angle,
tried to do it with Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle came real close because he's getting
very
there with
close,
me now, like in this time. But like they tried it
very
with
close.
Benoit, they tried it with Jericho, they tried the Stone Undertaker King, all of that, and
Remember,
it just
Benoit got
never
hurt.
panned out.
Benoit
Eh,
got hurt, and Triple H got hurt. Remember, Benoit had to have his
right,
neck
Benoit
fusion.
got the yeah, Benoit had the surgery, the neck surgery.
Right, and
Yeah,
Triple H, remember he blew his quad out against Benoit and
quad.
Jericho
Yeah,
in
he
that
blew the
tag
quad
match.
out.
Um, in that match, so they were really like underhanded when it came to you know facing quote unquote WCW at that time. And plus, they didn't have those major guys with those big contracts. You had
Correct,
Booker T, you had DDP. Where was
but that
Goldberg?
was it.
Where was
That
where
was
was
it.
Sting? Where was Hogan? Where was Hall? Where
Right,
was Nash?
right,
Where was the Nature Boy? You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
nobody recognizable that carried WCW for those 10 years or whatever were there. Outside of Booker T. You know what I mean? And who else? Like you didn't have any Chronic. Like who else is carrying? Like it
Right.
was a different time, man. But
Yeah.
Austin, my favorite part of that heel turn though, I'm sorry to say it. I know it wouldn't fly in 2021 when Triple H and Stone Cold just went crazy on the Hardy Boys and Lita with that steel chair.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was like
That shit wouldn't fly now. That shit wouldn't fly now.
that would
A
never
lot of that
happen in
shit wouldn't
cancel
fly now.
culture now. Like they would automatically cancel WWE, not just
Yo,
Stone Cold.
it's crazy because of how the world has programmed us now to like and dislike certain shit. There's shit that I see when I be watching it and I cringe, bro. I be like, yo, they was wilding. Like that shit makes you
Yeah,
cringe. But back in the day,
yeah.
we didn't give a fuck about that shit. We didn't give a fuck about that.
like,
Bra and
like,
panties
like,
matches, nigga. Like that's
like,
uncomfortable.
that would never happen
Like that
nowadays.
shit is like
Like,
real talk. Like even like when you watch them do it now, it's wild. Like I'd be like, yo, bro, like
Like
they
Andrade,
let them do this,
like Andrade
huh?
and Cody.
Right.
Yeah, that
what,
was fucked.
what
This
happened
is
with Cody?
cringy, bro. Like I'd be like, yo, like we let this shit go. Like we let this shit. Like we like this shit back then. Like, but that's how the world is programmed us so to like certain shit and to dislike certain shit. And we was fine with that shit. I was a grown man when this shit was coming on. I was 17, 18 when this shit was going on. So it was
Mm.
like I was already a man. This shit, why would this shit be cringy now and wasn't cringy then?
Because so why you say you're a man now? You're also a kid back then. So you said fuck it, let the people beat the crap out of each other, and it was perfectly fine. Because that's
But,
what got
but
our attention back then.
but remember
Yeah,
the time frame too. Like we're talking like a grown man going to town on a young woman with a chair, and while she's
yo,
saying please, like
the
mercy, and
way
he's like,
the
no.
way fucking Vince used to harass these women on TV was
Mm,
wild, bro. Especially knowing that his wife is in the building, bro. His yo, Linda was heavily featured in around this time, bro. Like, bro, the way he was gawking on these ways, yo, and that shit in itself was uncomfortable as fuck. Like, yo, this old
mm.
ass nigga, bro. What's wrong with him? What's wrong with him? Yo, he was bugging. He was bugging.
Nah,
Bugging.
man,
He was wild.
the thing with Trish
But I didn't
Stratus
mean to take
too,
up all the
having her.
time with that shit, yo. My bad, yo. That's
No, it's cool.
we get into the shit. We
Like
get into the fucking wrestling and shit. And, yo, shit. It was. That's
it's
why
it's
the
cool,
fucking
man. It's
wrestling
cool.
now is it is. I can't talk about the wrestling now the way I could talk about wrestling back then. Can't do it. It doesn't. It
The-
doesn't even give me the same feeling. Doesn't even give me the same
it's not
feeling.
it's
I
not your
still enjoy
fault.
it. I just don't enjoy it the way I enjoyed it back then. Like when I watched this shit, and Janelle will tell you, she's like, yo, she'll be like, yo, you're watching, you're still watching this shit. But she's like, yo, you are like a kid in a candy store when this shit is on. Like I watch the
Right.
shit like as if I've never seen it before. Like never. Like this shit is going on right now. Like a kid in a fucking candy store. Can't get enough. Can't get enough. I can't wait
Um,
to get off this shit so I can go ahead and watch some more. For real, for real. Like that's how deep I'm into it.
I think the storylines had us,
Katie, we can't hear you. You
kept
was
us
trying to
hooked.
talk. I see you was trying to talk, and I didn't hear you. Yeah, I cannot hear you. That's probably why we got caught up.
Nah, it's cool. Yeah, your mic is not really working, Mama.
Yeah, I might not on.
Yeah,
I don't hear Muffin Man neither.
Can you hear me now?
Hello.
I
I
hear
can hear you
Muffin Man
now.
now.
Yeah,
Okay, there you
yeah,
go.
we can hear you
There
now.
you go.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Cool.
yeah.
You actually sound a lot better now
Than you did
than you did
before.
before.
Right, right, right.
You can hear us pretty good now.
I
Yeah.
blame Vince
Okay,
because
cool.
we're talking shit
Mm.
about him. It's all Vince's fault. But in our defense, as much as he also, now that I can say this, and you're talking about how Vince was a low key perv, you can't get more disgusted by Vince until he had Rikishi's ass in his face.
No, you see, but you know what? That didn't bother me as much as watching him grope Tori, bro. Like
Yo, that was
that.
Wow.
And groping her in the bathroom, and then he went in the broom closet, and I was like, wow, bro.
Bro,
You know
don't
what's
forget
crazy?
I was like,
Buffalo.
whoa.
No, I'm sorry, bro. Like that's not the most disgusting storyline to me.
No,
The,
not even by far, not even the worst. Not, but
like,
just like on like just recently, because I think I just watched that yesterday or the day before. Um, just seeing that, I was just like, whoa, bro, that's a bit much. Vince out here
mm,
wilding. Like that's how I felt. I was like, whoa,
Nah, I think
I,
the one that hit the spot for me was remember when you had Linda McMahon in the wheelchair?
yeah. And when he was fucking with
oh,
Trish, he was fucking
Kind of
with Trish.
yeah.
cake at that time too.
Yeah,
you
that was rough, but that wasn't to me. That wasn't as rough. Eh,
Well, remember he
I really, what was crazy? What was crazy about that is where I started was kind of where that ended.
gotcha because
Yeah, where I kind of started, like literally where I started, I think was when she got up out the wheelchair.
Ah,
She was in
WrestleMania.
the wheelchair and she got up out the wheelchair and they sold it like I've never
Yeah.
nobody can sell better than Vince. I don't care what nobody says. Vince is the greatest. He sells better than any wrestler I've ever seen in my life.
No, that's
Ever.
cap.
Period.
That's cap. That's cap.
Ever.
No, Vince
Vince's
McMahon is
face
the best
dog,
seller. No, man.
yo,
No.
bro.
I've seen some better.
Facial
I've seen
expression
it.
wise,
they're bonding.
If we're talking promoter, no. If we're talking, no. I can't give it to him, man.
oh
I can't.
well, Yeah, yeah, nah. Nobody fuck with it. Nobody makes me feel it like Vince makes me feel it. Nobody. Nobody makes me feel it like that. Like when Vince looks fucking like shook, that nigga looks shook. Like we already know that he knows what's coming, right? But he puts on this face, and it's
He
like,
does the
yo, the
long
nigga was
face.
so shook, and it's so good that if you, even though we know it's scripted, I'm sitting here wondering, like, yo, did this nigga really like get surprised with this shit or not? That's how good he sells it for me.
Vince is a promoter's promoter. Like he knows how to
Right,
navigate
right.
certain
No, of
waters
course.
and garner certain reactions. And the thing about Vince, right? Like you're bringing up like all the uncomfortable stuff that we look at it and go, it won't fly in today's generation, right? Like he always told like his talent, like, look, listen, I will never ask you to do anything that I wouldn't do myself. So by
Right,
him taking the charge and doing it, it's it's a kind of like a mind kind of thing, like a mind trick to pretty much get them to fall in line and get what you want out of them. Because at the end of the day, you're investing in this character, and this talent to do what you want them to do because they're part of a show that you're trying to sell to the mass. So um and it's like maximizing the most out of someone even though they probably didn't think it was there kind of thing. But also, keeping your promoter's mindset. Like you're
right.
trying to get paid and you think that this segment is gonna get you paid. So that's
Right.
Vince, man. Vince is he's a smart man. He's also cunning and also deadly. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
when it comes
Nah, he
to it.
definitely knows what he's doing.
Speaking of Vince, how are we feeling about the new NXT? Because I saw War Games on during the weekend, and I never in my life I fell asleep
I mean,
on NXT.
I don't really have an opinion on it because I haven't watched the full episode yet. I've caught it in parts. Um, I like the way it's presented. I like the way like everything's presented, even down to like how people are sitting and shit. Like I like that. But I mean, I don't really know or have watched it since it's premiered. Like I think I caught
Mm,
maybe one match. I caught the first the women's war games match.
That
And I
was
checked out.
crazy. But that
I
War
checked out.
Games, the women's War Games, I
Yeah.
respect it.
The
I,
first one, what was the one with Mandy Rose and her team versus it was like a 3-on-3. That
yeah,
wasn't a war game, but that was a regular match.
it was Toxic Attraction.
it was
Um,
Yeah.
Dakota Kai. It was team Dakota Kai versus Team Gonzalez.
and
Was that a war games match or not?
yeah,
That
Yeah.
was a War Games match. Yeah,
Yeah.
it
So
was. It
yeah,
was like
I low key kind of checked out. That's when I checked out. I saw them. No, no, not to say that that's what made me check out. I think I just wasn't interested in the pay per view because I wasn't invested in the the people because I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know them. So
right, right,
um,
and that
when it was on,
and
I was like, was like, oh, you gonna watch War Games? And I'm just like, what?
see, me and Mikey are very so we have opposite opinions when it comes to Mandy Rose.
mm, really,
Yeah, because me, I'm a little more biased, being I went to the same college as her at the same time.
really, because she
Oh
went to
yeah.
Iona. Really,
She went to Iona. She graduated a year before me.
really. So that's your fealty to Mandy Rose. She went to Iona.
Listen,
Really,
all of that. Yes, I'm biased to it. I'm actually happy for her that someone out of that shithole school is doing some worth for.
okay. Um, can we all agree on this? Like, it's the end
Good.
of an era when it comes to NXT
Mhm.
and NXT being considered top tier in terms of pro wrestling, in terms of storylines, in terms of matchup, in terms of style. in terms of garnering what you will call the underground, masses to it. Because it's always going to be like a following when something feels new and fresh in quote unquote underground. So I think this takeover represented the end of an era, especially with Johnny Gargano and Kyle O'Reilly leaving and becoming free agents. Like that,
Yeah.
And you
that
mean
was like,
this is what we're doing? We're talking about this now?
oh no,
So
I'm sorry. Like I didn't mean to jump the gun. My bad. Like
fine,
it
there's a
was
whole
just
bunch
like,
of topics. So we'll start with this though. And it's funny, I have it
right,
hooked on the TV too. But
okay.
I continue with Johnny and Kyle.
But yeah, no, just saying like, this is the last time we're gonna probably see Johnny Gargano, Johnny Wrestling in NXT. Also Kyle O'Reilly as well, who came a little bit later. These helped define NXT, for a good what 5 or 6 years. We're talking. They were there. They were in matches. You
No,
have DIY, Undisputed Era, and the feuds that came from both factions. Like it's a bittersweet moment, and unfortunately, like like you said, like some people are just tuning out and falling asleep because they don't know these new people. Outside of Mandy Rose.
Well, I'm already calling it Kyle O'Reilly to AEW.
Oh, for sure, for sure. That's definite. That's
I
for sure.
mean, they're already talking about it because of the elite on Bleacher Report.
Mm.
Um,
Well, Adam Cole and Bobby Fish were with Kyle O'Reilly to do the Undisputed Era. So I wouldn't be surprised if he jumps ships over there to restart that whole staple again.
yeah, but I don't think you could do it with the same name because doesn't WWE own the name?
Yeah, but they
They
already
own
Probably.
everything undisputed.
So they just come up
Yeah,
with another name, but they know everybody knows what it is. They'll do the same gimmick.
yeah they already make fun of it at AEW now anyway. Like especially when Bobby Fish and Adam Cole are together with the Young Bucks. They already
right.
they already hinted to it and saying like this isn't this era isn't undisputed and throwing little jabs here and there. So I wouldn't be surprised if they find a way to keep the name.
We're definitely gonna see the reappearance of Red Dragon in AEW for sure. And I think that the tag team division might need a couple of veterans like Red Dragon. Imagine just the Red Dragon versus Private Party, Red Dragon versus Jurassic Express, um, Red Dragon versus the Young Bucks. You know what I mean? Red Dragon versus the Lucha Brothers. Like you can go down the list. You
Yeah,
know what I
Yeah.
mean?
that's
And just having Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish in your tag team division just legitimizes it even more. Red Dragon versus FTR. We're gonna get the Undisputed Era versus the Revival in AEW again. Like imagine that. And they had a pretty cool match in NXT when it was on the WWE Network, if I'm not mistaken, or was it on the TV?
oh yeah, I
But it
remember
was a really
really good.
yeah,
Was it
it was a
W?
really solid match.
Yeah.
And like and tag team wrestling isn't really featured on WWE like that. Like we're talking old school NWA, WCW style tag team wrestling. Like it's not featured as like that, and there's a market for it. It probably isn't mainstream, quote unquote, like the way WWE. There's a place for tag team wrestling, I believe. But yeah,
I remember the
Kyle
WWE.
O'Reilly first.
Yeah, I remember back in the day, when wrestling had a great hub to watch everything all in one spot and it was $10 a month. And now we got shitty ass Peacock.
Well, Peacock is getting better. I'm not gonna hold you. Peacock is getting better with their with the shit. They just
Mm.
I don't know why they didn't follow the format of the network. Um, Knowing that they were gonna buy the you know what I'm saying? Like they could have programmed it to follow that same format. It would have been easier to navigate. But I mean, nah, I think Peacock is okay now. It's not that bad.
Can you fast forward and rewind, or is it still giving you guys
Yeah,
issues with
yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah,
Because I don't have
yeah,
Peacock.
yeah. You can
That's
fast
gonna be
forward and
weird.
rewind.
Okay. 'Cause
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
that was an issue with
in the
WrestleMania
beginning, yeah, yeah, yeah.
in the beginning, and it was like, all right, this I'm out. WWE Network, yeah, for sure. Because you're not just buying just for the pay per views. You're buying it for like nostalgia. You know, your ECWs,
Content,
your
right, right, right.
WCWs,
Content, right, right,
content.
right.
Your world class. If you guys go all the way back to that, your NWA. If you go back to that, Crockett Promotions. You know, I grew up literally watching wrestling when I was a kid and watching those kind of matches. That's why like the Midnight Express versus the Rock and Roll Express was good for me. You know, Midnight Express. You know what else? Your Steiner Brothers. You know, Steiner Brothers. Your Hart Foundations. Your Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson. Like them. Those were the matches I grew up watching. So you know. So yeah, it's a little sentimental when it comes to tag team wrestling. And you're watching WWE now, right? From 2001. If you
Right.
fast forward to 2002, you know, if you guys remember the SmackDown 6, Edge, Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, Chavo, Chris Benoit, Kurt Angle, they held down SmackDown for a long time, you know, and they had crazy matches, you know, during that time frame, during the Ruthless Aggression era. They really held it down. And you
Yeah.
could switch out main events and tag events or singles matches and when a brother didn't have cable growing up, and all I had was SmackDown on UPN,
On
that was
UPN,
it for me. Yeah, that was it for me.
facts,
Yeah. So
fact.
so I'm SmackDown through and through. And you can tell Raw is trash right now, but that's another story.
I don't think Raw is trash. I think it's long, but I don't think it's trash. I enjoy watching it.
Your mic isn't working again.
I can't hear you again.
I think it's on mute.
Yeah, yeah, it is on mute.
It's on mute.
I'm really not liking this shit no more.
There you go.
StreamYard, get it together, bro. Get it together, StreamYard. So listen, I
Uh,
feel like SmackDown is still gonna be the better brand nowadays because they've been coming up with the better storylines, in my opinion, because Fox is putting more money behind it.
yeah, well, they got a lot more freedom to do a lot more things
You know,
over on Fox.
I don't
And
know.
it's a 2 hour show, so you're not investing in so many storylines on that one show. You know what I'm saying? They could only put so much wrestling. With 3 hours, they trying to figure out time to make you invest into something. And Raw being 3 hours is crazy now. Raw being 3 hours is crazy.
I don't know. I'm with Mikey on this one. I'm still kind of I lean towards Raw more than I do SmackDown.
Really?
Like
I
look
like I like SmackDown. Don't get me wrong, like SmackDown is good. But there's something about Raw, bro. There's something about Raw. And I think maybe people are just
in
missing it because of
grass.
the wrestlers that's on there and shit like that. But the storylines on Raw you might not be invested in, but like I watch Raw religiously. I don't I like when
Really?
people Raw
Wow.
is trash, I'm like, was it? Like really? Did you think it was trash? Like what was trash about it?
Wow.
Like I don't feel like there are moments. I'm not gonna say there aren't moments. There are moments where I'm like, okay, maybe this is why people say it's trash. But the whole show is not trash. Whole show is
Okay,
not trash.
so name me one interesting storyline with Raw right now.
You
Um,
tell you one only
I'm
because
invested with what's her name? What's the girl? Becky Lynch and what you call it?
Morgan.
Okay, Liv Morgan. Okay.
Liv
Okay.
Morgan. Yeah, I'm invested in that.
Mm. Are you invested
Of
because of
course,
Becky Lynch or because of Liv
Naomi.
Morgan?
I'm invested with Naomi.
But that's SmackDown.
Um, that's SmackDown though.
That's SmackDown. We're talking
Uh,
Raw. Just
Let me see. Yeah,
strictly
Raw.
Monday Night
I'm
Raw.
trying to think. What else is going on Raw?
I went for I like
Um,
that whole Dewdrop um
Going heel.
going heel storyline that they did.
who?
Dewdrop. The drop.
Yeah.
They dropped the ball on Doudrop. They did, and I don't like
They
calling her
absolutely dropped
Dewdrop.
they absolutely dropped the ball. They absolutely
And I'm
dropped the
sorry,
ball.
her name is Piper Niven. Like, can we call her Piper? We
Right,
can't call
right,
her
right.
Viper, obviously.
Niggas don't like that dewdrop. Niggas don't like that dewdrop shit.
Dewdrop is it sounds like she's a number two in the like. I'm sorry, just the way that
What's up, fat?
they just
But you gotta
they
remember,
presented her wrong.
they gave her that name because of whatever Eva Marie's stupid storyline was, and they forgot to like write her own storyline.
They didn't
No,
even
they
give
no.
they didn't even give them a proper
People actually
storyline
like dewdrop. Dewdrop was over. Like it was over. And that's why they
because she
kept it.
can go in the ring. She can wrestle.
Right.
She's a wrestler. Like
That name was
they fast
over and
track her from
people are like, yo,
NXT
they like it.
UK.
So that's why they kept it.
Like,
But I'm
ugh.
trying to think what else is going on Raw.
Why are we doing SmackDown slander? What the fuck?
No, but I'm just saying because we're comparing the two.
No, it's no. I think SmackDown is a great show, and honestly, I think SmackDown is the better show. But Raw to me is not trash. It's not trash.
Right now,
I couldn't get with that assessment of Raw. Raw can't be trash because people still watch it. You know what I'm saying?
may
Like
I may I interject?
yeah, I gotta
Like
interject too.
I gotta interject.
So as we do it at work, right? So we pick the line of students. So Himsley's gonna go first,
All right,
then
cool.
me, then you.
Okay.
Yay! All
Oh,
right. So the only thing interesting me on Raw right now is the main storyline with Biggie, Seth Rollins, um, I guess now the Almighty Bobby Lashley because
yeah,
he's got to go through them in a gauntlet
but
match,
right,
and
Bobby, yeah.
as we're streaming Raw, right, and Kevin Owens whose contract is coming up, like we can't forget SmackDown is much more interesting because of Roman Reigns, man, and that whole Bloodline storyline.
oh Lord.
Well, I think
But
that
since we're talking about
I
Raw,
don't know if SmackDown. I think SmackDown is better because the storylines are better. The storylines
because
are
of the
more
Roman Reigns
cohesive, but I
storyline,
don't
that
think
Oh,
right. But yeah, but
it's
if
carrying
you could put
WWE.
you could yeah, but you could put anybody in that same position with Paul Heyman, and it would be the same. It'd be that's why that's
Mm,
why I don't give it to I can't say it's Roman Reigns, but the storyline that he's involved in is absolutely the reason why. But I feel like
I think
if you took you could have taken any you could have taken the Miz and put him in there and he would have done the same thing.
no,
Give
because
him
mm,
took
give him not being pinned or submitted for 2 years straight, for 3 years
no,
straight.
no.
And then absolutely he's gonna do that. The Miz is the greatest.
I
The
gotta
Miz
call
is the
red flag.
greatest heel that WWE has.
Okay,
Absolutely,
no, sorry, no. I
absolutely.
can't. His heel. We just talking about Stone Cold Steve Austin and his heel turn
Right,
in 2001,
right.
and he's the greatest heel of this
The
generation.
greatest
Stone
heel that
Cold is.
WWE
Miz
has.
is. Miz right
Miz,
now is the greatest heel that they have.
Yes. Michael
Miz.
Mizanin, absolutely. Michael Mizanin,
What?
absolutely,
Did you see that?
absolutely.
Did you see that MJF CM Punk light promo that he did with Edge? Well, he shouldn't be feuding with, by the way.
Correct.
I'm sorry. He shouldn't be feuding with MJF. I'm sorry. He shouldn't be feuding with Edge, right?
Also,
That's
including in
that's
AEW.
a
Who the Miz shouldn't be feuding with Edge?
no, he shouldn't be feuding with Edge right now. Absolutely
Why?
not.
Why not?
They're not no one's invested. Did you not hear the crowd noise that they pumped in the past couple of weeks into their segment? Well, I didn't started something. Uh oh.
I mean, listen, should we take cover? No. So according to Bleacher Report, while Mikey's getting his phone together, um, it says that the matches that are keeping the audiences on their platforms is big for Raw is Big E, Seth and Kevin, Becky
Right,
versus Liv, Edge
right.
versus The Miz, and that's it. For SmackDown, it's this whole Roman Brock as well as he's gonna come back. Um, Charlotte Flair, Tony Storm.
No, that says it has fallen flat, so it's not getting nobody invested.
Oh, then the
And the tag team only consists of the Usos and the New Day, which is true.
But people are invested in the Sonya Deville versus Naomi storyline. They said
Look,
Sonya Deville versus Naomi has been worth watching for on Friday nights, but otherwise,
I'm
no.
I'm I'm just wondering when they're gonna let Sonya Deville go and let her wrestle again because I think, and this is just obviously armchair booking, right? Like she should be champion right now. She's got the in ring tools, she's got the character, um,
My bad, y'all.
and on top of it, she has the crowd invested in her character, and Sonya Deville
Peekaboo.
is a legitimate champion. So I think she should be a contender or at least a champion right now, and it would have freshened up, the women's division and that kind of situation. But I guess, her legal situation isn't done yet, so they have her on the sidelines as an on-screen character, but not as an in-ring competitor.
Can I say something?
But going back to go ahead,
Go.
bro.
Why do y'all sound like that?
Can we really say SmackDown as of since last week happened? Can we really say SmackDown is a wrestling show anymore though?
Oh, with the 30 minutes before a wrestling match.
Even 30 minutes. It was 16 minutes of wrestling throughout a 2 hour show.
Oh wow,
You
I
had
didn't, I
more
didn't.
wrestling in one match on Rampage on in a 1 hour show in one match than you did the entirety of SmackDown throughout 2 hours. Most of it was people talking, and that's about it.
So we need to understand, and this is kind of corny, but this is what WWE has always stood by. This whole sports entertainment aspect, investing in characters instead of investing in matches. You know what I mean? You got to look at your talent and look at the scope of your show and go, listen, there needs to be a healthy balance. And I agree with you. I'm not going to sit around and watch 2 hours of 60 minutes of wrestling. When I want to watch pro wrestling, because of the era that I grew up in watching it, I want to see 30-minute Broadway here and there, or a good 10-minute match. That's two segments. You know what I mean? Of people just going in and wrestling each other. Like we've got the people with the mindset and the mainframe and the mentality to go out and have a great match. You're training all these people for all this time. Let them go out and win the crowd over, like gladiator style. Go out and win the crowd over.
Yeah,
Um, and
I get
yeah,
what you're saying, but look at what in that little time frame too, in less than in their 1 hour. Look at what MJF
And Punk.
and Punk actually were able to do in terms of
true,
just.
Yeah, they
true.
cock blocked each other.
So
But here's the thing though.
They
I get what you're
promo blocked
saying.
each other.
I get what you're saying, but I just didn't see
Yeah,
that
that's
balance
crazy.
last Friday. Like I get what you're
But
saying, like, and I completely agree. There needs to be a balance there,
right.
but almost an hour and 45 minutes of talk and only around a little bit more than 15 minutes of wrestling. That's a little that's not showing balance right there.
Oh no, no. We're talking about the top wrestling company in the world, like heavy on character development, right?
Yeah,
Sometimes character development happens in the ring.
no, I agree. But look
Yeah,
at if we're gonna talk about character development, look at what they did with Adam Page in AEW. It was 2 years
right,
character development to finally be able to have him win the title.
right, right,
We haven't
right.
seen like that from WWE since
Attitude era.
the Attitude Era, where they
And,
had prolonged storylines where they were able to really develop the story, develop the characters, and all that good stuff. And that,
and,
in all honesty, and don't get me wrong, I'm not a WWE hater. I love WWE.
right. You're a fan. You're a wrestling fan. Period. You're right.
Yeah, I just feel that that's something that's been missing from WWE the last few years because a
And
lot of
to piggyback onto your point, right? You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right because like we're talking about character development I thought that they were gonna make Big E wait a little longer before winning the title, but
No,
because of what happened. But just imagine though, right? Like Biggie's been taunting the cash in for how long since he's won the briefcase, popping up on Paul Heyman and stuff, saying he's gonna cash in on him. The promos during the talking smack segments where Biggie, like Paul Heyman's getting in Biggie's head, telling him he's not gonna make it unless he does a certain jump. And I'm thinking, yo, Biggie's really gonna cash in on Roman Reigns. And that didn't happen because of CM Punk going to AEW. They hot shotted his title reign. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So yeah, so
I agree. And to
hmm
tell you the truth, the way they handled Big E just kind of pissed me off a little bit, especially in the beginning once he did win the whole
hmm
Money in the Bank thing with him actually having the briefcase stolen and then him having to win it back. And it was like, what was the point of all that? Like,
mm
develop the story into something where it's meaningful and then have him cash it in. Why,
mm
why are you having his briefcase stolen and him having to win it back? You know, it reminds me a lot of last year when Otis won the Money in the Bank. Like,
mm
why did he win? Just for him,
mm
and the
and then the
Miz
Miz lose it what the next night?
to last.
mm
Actually, it was kind of like, what was the point? And that's where I feel like WWE is starting to fall off in that sense.
But they also gave up half of their roster. That whose fault is that? They
WWE.
exactly. So that's their fault now that they got to
mm.
deal with the consequences of motherfucking actions. You make your bed,
We
you lie in it.
we also got to add right there. What's WWE's mid card division looking like? And I've always had this belief as a fan. A company's only as strong as their mid card.
True.
You have your main eventers, right? You got your two, three, maybe four, five at the max top guys at the top of your card. But then you need those guys to fill in that tag division, that intercontinental, that United States division, who are gonna have those 5, 10 minute matches who you get to look at and scope at and go, hey, maybe this is the next guy. Maybe this person can win the crowd over. Maybe this person can, you know, make our top guys look like $1 million while we try to, give them, sell them on their merchandise or whatever. Which is what made WWE seem so anemic right now because they don't have those characters to fill their mid card division. And to go back to Big E, like he was supposed to have a feud with Aleister Black when he was like the Dark Father, right, or something.
Yeah, and then
And
the Black ended up getting released, and
right
he went to
after, right, like you said, like he went to AEW. But this is after what, a month and a half of promos of him sitting down in front of a camera in the dark room,
mm,
reading like occultish storylines and bedtime stories, like and nothing came of it. And I was really interested in that feud, and also disappointed when he got released. And then you had Andrade asked for his release. Who else got released? Buddy Murphy, like guys who were
Keith Lee.
Keith.
Yeah, that one hurt. I won't front. That one hurt.
Big
He had a lot of
cat.
potential, and they squandered that from the get go.
Like,
Because I've seen some of his matches from the
All
independent
right, there y'all go. The
Yo,
fuck?
welcome back.
Yo,
matches.
every time I jumped in, it sounded weird.
Yo, we sounded like robots according to him.
Okay.
It was like slow motion, like y'all was moving regularly, but the audio was coming in slow motion. I was like, what the fuck?
Slow motion for me.
So that
Slow
was
motion
exactly
for
what I
me.
was thinking. Too.
That shit
But
low key gave me a headache.
nah, but like I was saying, like some of Keith Lee's independent circuit matches, like you didn't see half of the stuff that he could actually do, even through NXT. He had a bit more
mm,
freedom compared to WWE. Like the dude,
mm,
that dude could wrestle,
Oh
oh
shit.
yeah.
Published again.
but they squandered it, and I'm kind of interested to see where he's actually gonna end up. like whether it's Impact, New Japan, or even AEW. I'm like really waiting for his 90 days to get be up so I can see where he lands because
Oh,
they give him that
oh,
freedom to do what he usually does in the independent. Yo, he's a monster.
oh, Keith Lee is definitely all elite. He has to be. Keith Lee has to be all elite. Like I don't see him going to Japan. I don't see Keith Lee um in Impact. It would be big fish, small pond for him, especially a guy of his side, his caliber, his wrestling ability, the potential that he has. I don't know if you guys noticed, but like while being on Raw, Keith Lee was still getting positive reactions from the crowd.
Hmm.
Like if you check out his live entrances, like people always recording, right? When they go over to like events, he was getting positive responses from the crowd. It's just, I guess, the way Vince wanted him to portray himself, um, or the way he envisioned a big man wrestling, it didn't translate for him.
Right.
Um, so I guess that the way he wanted him to move in the ring as a big man throwing people around and stuff, I guess it just didn't click for in Vince's mind. But the crowd still was pulling for Keith Lee. It's just that for some whatever reason, Vince just didn't see the money in him, which
Yeah.
is weird
Because to me,
and disappointing.
Keith Lee is like another Luchasaurus. Big dude, very strong dude, and agile as fuck.
Yeah.
I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Well, I think Keith Lee. I think Keith Lee would probably get more money
Oh
for a
yeah,
promoter than Luchasaurus would at this point in their careers. You know what I mean?
I
Like
completely agree.
Keith Lee.
And in terms of his ability as a big man, that that's like the closest of somebody that's out right now.
Mm, yeah. Um. How do you guys feel about Karrion Cross too? Like, since we're talking about Keith Lee, like Karrion Cross, just
Cross
because
him,
they.
bro, he got wasted once he came up. Because if you ever seen him in Impact, that dude was awesome. Like he could cut a promo like I've never seen some of the new cats do, and he could wrestle. But once he came up,
Mm,
they didn't have his wife or girlfriend. I forget what she is to him. Like it was like it fell flat. And then they had him with that weird get up that they had him with. They didn't let him come out as him. So it was like it was just wasted once he came up because he had
mm,
a lot of potential. If they
they
let
had Keith. Oh man, they had Karrion Cross looking like the fourth member of Demolition, bro, in 2021. Like, it's crazy, man. But what are you gonna do, man? WWE, they're gonna WWE. They're gonna WWE. They're gonna do them.
yeah,
Like,
definitely.
nah, man. I don't know, man. Vince is 76 now, guys? Like, he's stuck in his ways.
Yo, he needs to let Triple H take over finally.
Well, Triple H needs to get his ass back over to WWE and recover first, but um, that don't. I feel like had not Triple H been going through everything he's been going through health-wise, I'm pretty sure it would have delayed NXT 2.0.
I don't think NXT took.
Mm,
No, because I can't do Vince slander on this because I know I'm gonna hear it for me to say what I want to say. So can't say that here, but um, Vince at the end of the day is still gonna be Vince. So even if Triple H was still running NXT the way he was running NXT, at some point you were gonna see everything. It was only a matter of time.
Yeah.
I think NXT was doomed when they went live on USA because the beautiful thing about NXT was that even though it was on the WWE network, it was still developmental. And, you know, you had your indie stars, your Ciampas, your Garganos, your Finn Balor's, your Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. But you also had your inbred talent, like your homegrown talent. And it was a beautiful mesh of these guys getting experience from guys who had experience, guys and girls who had experience, and they were able to mess up on the network without having too many eyes on them. But
Hmm.
when Triple H and WWE reached a deal with USA to bring them out on live TV, especially for 2 hours, man, that's a lot of pressure. That's immense pressure, and you can't work out those kinks because it's live TV. You sink or swim, and of competing against AEW when AEW was already the fresher brand and the new kid on the block, however, the new flavor of the month. Like it was a tough stuff. When NXT started losing in the ratings, that's when NXT was really doomed. Like you have rope when you're under the thumb of WWE, but you're not really seen in the public eye. When
Yeah.
you're out in public in live TV and you start to sink instead of swim, then you have corporate pressure, you've got advertisements, you've got sponsors, you gotta honor. You've
Yeah.
got a quota you gotta meet. Just like any other corporation, you've got a cap you have to meet. If you don't meet that cap, you know, it's a problem. It's like cops, like right around this time of the season, like they got to start handing out tickets. And if you caught speeding or whatever, you caught with a traffic violation, they got tickets to hand out. They got people that they got to answer to.
Right.
So it's you got to really like look at it from a corporate perspective. And if NXT wasn't hitting that mark, they had to do something different. The only thing that sucks is that nobody knows any of these new talents outside of Mandy Rose, outside of Champa. Gargano's gone. O'Reilly's gone. Who's Von Wagner? Von Wagner
Exactly.
is a character in NXT 2.0. I call it FCW 2.0 because of who's running it. But NXT 2.0, Von Wagner, he just beat Kyle O'Reilly in a cage match last Wednesday. Um,
Oh,
you
hey.
know, who else? You have Toxic Attraction.
Hmm.
Mandy Rose is to me the redhead Gigi Dolan. She's the star of the group. She stands out for
No,
some reason.
she really stands out of the three.
Right out of the three, and Mandy Rose is there, but you can't keep your eyes off of the redhead. You're like, wait, why is she so different? Like she stands out, and that's Priscilla Kelly from the Mae Young tournament from years ago. She just got signed, and you know now she's a member of the roster. Um,
Mhm.
who else do you know? Like outside of Dexter Loomis, who just came on because of Gargano and the family,
Yeah.
right? Austin Theory's on the main roster now.
How do we feel
LA
about that?
Knight, Austin Theory is Randy Orton 2.0.
Yeah, I can
Mm.
go for that.
He's got all the tools. If you look at him in the ring, he knows what he's doing in the ring. His upside is crazy. Like the kid looks great. He's in his early 20s. He reminds me of Randy Orton. It's just a mental thing. And for you to get a second chance after messing up last year during COVID, to get sent down and to be paired up with Johnny Gargano, like Vince McMahon sees money in Austin Theory. I think we all should pay a
I
little
don't.
bit more attention
I
to.
don't think Gargano, because Gargano did say that he's going to be a dad. So I think he's going to spend more time doing the dad thing first before going back into wrestling.
Yeah.
Mm.
I can't see him want to be a coach. Because that's what they wanted to do for Gargano, was for him to be a coach, essentially. The same thing they wanted to do with Adam Cole, because they didn't want to move him up, from what I understood, but they wanted to make him not a GM, a regular manager for one of the. It's like, why would you make these people a mouthpiece instead of a wrestler and build upon it? Because now you got both Gargano and Kyle O'Reilly as free agents. They could technically go anywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. You're right. They can go wherever they want
Yeah.
once
Whatever. Yeah. Facts.
wherever their non-compete clauses are up. I think we all know and we agreed that Kyle O'Reilly is going to AEW. I could also see Kyle O'Reilly in Japan doing
Yeah.
what's their annual pay-per-view there? It's on Wrestle Kingdom. I
Yeah,
can see Kyle O'Reilly having a match at Wrestle Kingdom with like a Minoru Suzuki.
yeah, I could see that happening.
Right.
I think
Testing the waters a bit.
the fact that he can reunite with his two buddies, where he had the most success, I think that's what's gonna entice him more than anything else. But yeah, I could see him
Right.
in New Japan. Who's to say he doesn't go to
You
New Japan first, gets wrestle a little bit over there, and then come over to AEW? A lot of people,
yeah.
they've been swapping a lot of wrestlers, New Japan and AEW. So who's to say he doesn't do that?
Yeah.
Ooh, Kyle O'Reilly versus Switchblade Jay White.
Well, that'd be nice.
Ooh.
That'd be a good match.
I'd pay to watch that
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's a
So
because Switchblade is pretty much Triple H in Japan. So I'd pay to watch that. Like he's a complete pro wrestler to me. Like I think
guys,
he's
we reaching the home stretch. We reaching that time of the night though.
okay.
But next week Wednesday we have Winter is Coming.
Oh,
This is our card. I'm gonna put it here for a few seconds. I'll read it out loud. Adam Page versus Bryan Danielson, AEW World Championship match. MJF versus Dante Martin, AEW Diamond Ring match. Hikaru Shida versus Serena Deeb, singles match. And Wardlow versus Matt Sydal, singles match. Let's talk
really?
about
Matt
it.
Sydal and really Wardlow,
yeah. Fucking
wow.
Wardlow. The fuck.
Wardlow and Mike Side. What?
That's why I can't watch. I can't get with AEW, bro. I'm not
Wardlow and
they.
Matt
I'm not there
Sydal.
yet. Not
Yeah, no,
not there yet with them.
They had Wardlow versus Powerhouse Hobbs in the battle royale.
I went to the show, bro. I went to the show, bro, when they was at Arthur Ashe, bro, and I low key fell asleep, bro.
Wow.
Yeah.
wait, you went to Long Island too?
No. When they were at Arthur Ashe,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I fell asleep, bro. I fell asleep.
Wow.
It's yo. First of all, they tape all three shows at one night. If you ever been to a show, tape all three shows in one night. So they tape Dark Elevation, then they do Dynamite, then they do Rampage. So you figure you're sitting for at least 5 hours of wrestling
That's amazing.
That's a WWE
straight
pay per
through.
view.
No, that shit is tiring.
That's a
That shit is
WrestleMania.
tiring. And mind you,
Original WrestleMania.
you're seeing the same wrestlers coming out. So when we went, CM Punk came out twice. He came out once to
Right.
talk shit, and then he came
Right.
out the next for Dynamite to actually wrestle.
To wrestle Hobbs, I think it was, right?
Yes,
Right.
and it was weird because like thinking about like him talking about it in like future tense, but it's happening now. It's wild. It's
Night.
bizarre,
Right. Yeah.
bizarre shit. But you're low key in there. Like we didn't come for Dark Elevation, but just for and that was when the Rampage was 2 hours. So you low key at that time could have been in there for a legit 6 hours.
Wow.
A
That's
legit. It was
wild.
long. It was long, long, long,
Did you go
long.
to the bathroom at least, bro? Again, like,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
that's crazy.
We did that. Raw was long. Raw wasn't as long when Raw just came through. Um, and it was good. It was really good. What was that? At the Barclays, right? Was
Uh,
that Raw? Or was that SmackDown?
No, I believe it was Raw.
It was Raw, right?
Yeah.
That right, because that was my first time in the Barclays. Yo, that was an experience. That was an experience. That was an experience.
Okay.
This is,
Yeah,
you're in,
Barclays is good.
but you're low key there for about 3.5. But it's interesting. It's engaging. Like I didn't like. Yeah, I'm not there with AEW. I'm not there with them yet. Not there.
The one thing about AEW is that they're they've got some good talent, but they're a poorly written show outside of like your CM Punk and your Brian Danielson
Right.
segments. Um, you're not as invested as you could be, and MJF too at this point, right in his career. Um, I think I don't. To me, MJF shouldn't be in this battle royal because I think he's above it. Like he's
He's
messing
above
with
that.
CM Punk,
He's way
right?
above that, bro. Come
So if you're gonna put him in the battle
on.
royale and you
Bro,
have
it'd be
CM
like,
Punk
yo, like
healing last,
they have the talent to do like great things and they just squander their talent.
right,
Stupid shit,
right,
bro.
What you talking about the Diamond Ring match?
yeah, the Diamond Ring battle royal. He's been doing it for what 2 or 3 years now. Like he won it initially. I'm not too certain if they did it last year during COVID, right?
The
And
reason
now you're doing it again.
the reason he was in the battle royal is because he has to defend it.
Ah, but even when WCW did it with Diamond Dallas Page and the Lord of the Ring, I don't know if you guys remember that because I think that's the inspiration behind it. Like it's
The initial match was the initial Diamond Ring match. Diamond Dallas Page was the one that presented the ring.
right, yeah, because it was a play off of the Lord of the Ring from W. Yeah, I got the tips from back in the days. I don't know, but yeah, like it was because it was his thing to get him, more awareness with the people. Because like 95, 96, DDP was having great matches with like Johnny B. Bad and Eddie Guerrero and all those guys, and he was coming along. Alex Wright, like they were like that's what I mean by getting over with the people through the wrestling. Like he could talk, but he could also back it up in the ring with his innovation and stuff. And he got that gimmick over. So MJF obviously is the next in line to be AEW World Champion. Hope we all agree on that. But it's it's kind of weird. Like I don't know. I get what you mean, bro. But seeing MJF do that again, you have other talent that you can elevate to where they need that platform. So hopefully,
But and I think they're gonna fuck up this match too. I really think on some level AEW just might have, because you saw how they've been with him and CM Punk. Either one, they're gonna continue to fuel the feud and have like he could win, and then CM Punk's gonna come back out and kick his ass, or he's gonna interfere in the match, and MJF is not gonna win the Diamond Ring.
what MJF can't take a loss like that, especially in a singles contest. Like the one thing they could have done, if you're gonna have him quote unquote defend it, you can eliminate him in a battle royale, and it won't affect his booking because
Right.
it's a battle royale. You know what I mean? Like it's you tossing a person over the top rope instead of pinning them or having them submit in the middle of the ring. So yeah, Dante Martin needs the rub, but who else needs the rub in AEW? There are a lot of other talent who could have used that spotlight for Winter is Coming for that Diamond Ring battle royal. You know what I mean? Like you had Ricky Starks, you had Dante Martin, Jay
Rick,
Lethal was in it.
Isn't he on injury still?
he's somewhat injured.
That's why they
So,
had him like a manager type of
mhm.
role.
Oh, okay.
So Ricky Stark right now is a he still wrestles, but not like one on one. So he could just like do
Okay.
he's fitting in what he can do right now. I think
Okay. What about Jungle Boy?
well, Jungle Boy
Facts.
is pulling the feud with Super Click in a sense.
Why not highlight the Super Click and Jurassic Express and Christian Cage in the Battle Royal?
Well,
Like
right now, the Young Bucks aren't cleared to wrestle
oh,
because of
okay.
the whole thing that happened between Jurassic Express and Christian Cage versus Adam
Okay,
Young Bucks. So that right now they're not cleared to wrestle.
that match that they had right at All Out, I think it was, or
Yeah, that pay per view that happened.
right.
Right now,
Okay. Well,
right now, a lot of their top talent that participated in that pay per view, they're hurt because right now even Kenny Omega is taking a few months off because
But
he's
Kenny
been
Omega was injured before the pay per view because that's why he dropped the title.
Hmm.
Had been the case that when that title will still be on.
no because Tony Khan already said that he already knew who his first three champions were
I
going
thought
to
you
be.
said the first four because you said Danielson was the fourth, supposed to be the fourth one.
No, first three. No, first four in the sense of Chris Jericho, John Moxley,
Moxley, yeah.
Omega, and then Adam Page. Those were his first four Those were going to be they were going to be his first four champions.
His Mount Rushmore in a way.
Yeah. Now it's kind of up in the air on who's the next champion going to be in that sense.
I don't think it's gonna be Danielson
No,
anytime
I don't
soon.
think so either. I
Uh,
really,
I was kind of waiting for Paige to kick out of that one wing angel because everybody kept talking. Can't.
no, Kenny Omega has that finisher way too protected. Like there, he has it that once you get hit by it, you're not getting kicked out unless something different happens down the line where he'll finally agree to let somebody kick out of it. He always fights for if I'm gonna win and I put my finisher, it's gonna be you can't kick out of it. He has that move way too protected for whatever reason.
So my prediction: Paige is retaining. Um, I want to go for MJF to keep the ring.
Hmm.
I'm a honestly, I'm not even invested in Sidal versus Wardlow.
Side down,
Yeah.
What?
side down, side down.
Oh Lord. And and to tell you the truth, um, I really, I wasn't really that interested in Hikaru Shida and Serena Deeb.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I don't care about the card. It doesn't make any sense to me. So I'm gonna stay out of this one because I really don't give a fuck about AEW. So
Oh, we lost Himsley. Well, those are mine, but you could give yours, and then we wait for Himsley.
Um, yeah, I think Adam Page is gonna retain. I think Dante Martin is actually gonna. I'm hoping for Hito Shida because I'm actually a big fan of hers.
Okay.
To win that one, but I could see Deep actually winning that. But I'm gonna go with Hito Shida just because I'm a fan.
Okay.
And then the Matt Seidel versus Wardlow, I think it's gonna be another squash match in terms of Wardlow winning.
yeah.
Wait, Mikey, tell me about your boy though, the tribal chief.
What about him?
Where the fuck was he this Friday?
He had a night off.
From doing what? He ain't do shit.
He's the tribal chief. He
Oh,
has the right to take the night the fuck off.
uh
That
huh.
nigga called out.
So what happened to his advisor?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Paul Heyman, yo. I don't know what's going on with Paul Heyman.
Can we talk about it?
I don't know what he.
I'm just like, when did he become like? First of all, we talked about that coming to light, but wouldn't it have been a little more extravagant than how it happened?
What's that?
When on SmackDown you have Roman on vacation, whatever the case may be, and then you have Brock just dropping the bomb that Paul Heyman is his advocate.
Right.
Like I thought that was gonna be done in a more out there type of way.
Uh, it got the desired effect. It's been a is he not thing for months now.
Yeah,
You
but
know
it
what I'm
was just
saying?
weird. But it was right. It was just
Yeah,
like
but he played it so well. You know what I'm saying? So it was like it's been one of those things where even when they weren't talking about it, even when it wasn't a thing, when Brock wasn't around, when he was suspended, it was still one of those things that yo, is Paul Heyman really still fucking with Brock or like you know what I'm saying? Like so the way they did it, it kind of just pulled the band-aid off, which was cool for me. because now you kind of know or kind of think you know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to just being in the dark and them just like totally getting rid of that storyline because they're good for that. You know what I'm saying? WWE is good for starting the storyline and then just forgetting about it and then coming back to it later down the line. You know what I'm saying? Like years down the line. Then it did that shit with the fucking Mustafa Ali as the fucking hacker. You know what I'm saying? The shit out of nowhere, he's the leader of Retribution. Oh, I was the one behind the hacker too, and then that was it. Conclusion to the story. So,
Somebody's vibrating.
oh,
Oof. Oh, everyone's
but
frozen.
yeah, so I don't know. We'll see what's going on with Paul, man. We just gotta watch. See what's going on with SmackDown. I can't really speculate. I don't know what Paul got going on.
I don't know, man. He's the advisor for two dangerous people.
Yeah,
But guys, it's that time of the night.
facts.
We got to do this again in a few hours. So, around the room, where can they find you? Yeah,
You can find me at Muffin Man Pictures on IG and also on TikTok.
over there, or there, whatever.
Oh, you can find me at underscore Hill Classic everywhere.
And then, sir, where can they find you?
You can find me at Folk Merweather on Facebook, um, and Slim Man on IG, and out in these streets helping save lives.
Wait, because I've known you for how long and this, where?
Huh? What happened? What?
Your Instagram name? Scoosy?
Yeah, no, it's just a little something. I'm not really on social media like that, but I figure I
Slim
give
Jim?
myself a shout out.
I heard Slim Jim.
No, Slim Man. Just a little wordplay, But most of the time I'm either doing ministry work or out at the job saving lives. Doing what I can, helping out, being a nurse, man, and
Yeah,
Well, thank you for what you do by being a nurse and, saving all those lives when,
absolutely.
you know,
Yeah, that's fine.
we're
appreciate
really
that, guys.
you.
Okay.
Plug my mic.
Yeah,
Um,
your mic.
yeah, so we do thank you for everything you do. The hospital and the medical, like, professionals don't get enough credit. But this was, I'll name this shit later. I hope everyone had a great night. And let's get the quick picture, guys. The screenshot. Muffin Man, look.
Sure.
One, two, three. Woohoo! I got the update on my computer and it's so weird.
Okay, yeah, put it on there.
But we are